Think of your daily cleaning ritual not just as hygiene, but as an act of respect for your body. A body that has carried you through youth, through love, through labor, through loss. You've earned every wrinkle, every scar, every mark. But that doesn't mean you stop caring. A lot of older men make a quiet mistake. They either avoid cleaning the area properly out of embarrassment or use harsh soaps that dry and irritate sensitive skin. Both can lead to itching, redness, or even infections like balanitis, which becomes more common as skin thins with age. So here's the wisdom. Gentleness matters more now than ever. Don't scrub. Don't rush. Use warm, not hot, water. A clean, soft cloth, a mild, unscented soap. Rinse thoroughly and pat dry. Let the skin breathe. For those who live in warmer climates or wear briefs throughout the day, moisture can build up. That's where drying properly becomes crucial. Trapped moisture is a breeding ground for fungus, and yet so many men ignore it until they feel burning or itching they can't explain. Dry yourself gently and fully. Cotton underwear, breathable fabrics, and loose-fitting clothes help the skin stay balanced. And this part is deeply important. Never feel ashamed to care. Peel doesn't make you any less of a man. In fact, it shows something sacred, that you're wise enough to understand that manhood isn't bravado, it's awareness. And true awareness includes caring for yourself, especially in the places no one else sees. In silence, many men suffer from chronic discomfort that could be avoided with one simple habit: regular care. No ointments, no expensive products, just daily attention. The same way you care for your heart, your teeth, your joints, care for your manhood. Not because it's fragile, but because it's earned your respect. And here's the truth no one says out loud. When you feel clean, when your body is in balance, your confidence returns in ways you didn't even realize you lost. A man who feels good in his skin stands differently. He looks people in the eye again. He doesn't withdraw from touch, he doesn't avoid intimacy. He's not embarrassed by discomfort he can't explain. He becomes whole again. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't rush. Take a little more time. Turn the water warm. Take a deep breath. And clean yourself with the same care you'd offer to something precious. Because you are. It's not just cleanliness. It's dignity. It's presence. It's the first rule of staying confident, right until the very end. Let's talk about something most men ignore, either from fear, shame, or the old habit of just pushing through it. Your body speaks to you, but many of us were raised to ignore those messages, to be tough, to carry on, and so we learn to suffer in silence until silence turns to something worse. The second rule for healthy manhood in later life is simple. Stop guessing. Start checking. The power of a quiet glance. Once a week, take a moment to inspect yourself. Not with paranoia, not with fear, but with quiet respect. Stand in the mirror, look down, gently touch and observe. Is the skin smooth? Any discoloration or spots that weren't there before? Any swelling, lumps, or unusual curvature? Any new pain or irritation? A simple weekly check can detect things long before they become dangerous. You see, the penis, like the eyes or skin, is an outward reflection of inward health. Changes there can be a quiet sign of something deeper going wrong. Why older men are more vulnerable. After 60, the body changes in subtle ways. Blood flow decreases, testosterone lowers, tissue becomes thinner, more fragile, healing slows. Conditions like Peyronie's disease, penile cancer, diabetes, and skin infections become more common. And often the first signs appear as minor things: a bump, a bruise, a rash. Most men ignore it. They wait. They hope it goes away. But that hesitation can be the difference between a small issue and a life-altering one. You wouldn't ignore chest pain. You wouldn't ignore a lump in your throat. So why ignore changes in your most private, vulnerable area? A wise man doesn't wait for pain to become suffering. He listens early and acts gently. Red flags you should never ignore. While most changes are harmless, here are warning signs no man should dismiss. Sores or ulcers that don't heal, unusual discharge or odor, painful erections or bending, bleeding, persistent itching or burning, a lump or thickening under the skin. And here's the important part. If you notice something, see a doctor who respects you. Find one who listens without judgment, who understands that you're not just asking about your body, you're asking about your peace of mind. There's no shame in awareness. Many men feel that checking themselves is awkward or unnecessary. But here's a truth worth repeating. The most masculine thing a man can do is protect his future with awareness. Being proactive is not weakness, it's wisdom. And you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need to justify your concern. You don't have to tell your spouse or your kids or anyone else. Just take the time to look, to feel, to know what's normal and what's not. Because you deserve a body that serves you in comfort, not in silence. When confidence fades quietly, you might not even realize how much confidence you've lost until you start to regain it. There's a quiet dignity in knowing that your health is in your hands, that you're not blindly hoping everything is okay, that you've taken control of the one thing no one else can do for you. Every week, 1 minute of your time, 1 moment of honesty, one habit that could quietly extend your health, your comfort, and even your life. The man who watches over himself. Years ago, you looked out for everyone else, your family, your friends, your team. You stood between danger and those you loved. Now it's time to do that for yourself. You don't need to be afraid, you just need to be aware. So don't guess. Don't delay. Check in. Look closely. Trust what your body tells you. Because the second rule of aging like a man is knowing that strength starts with awareness. As we age, the skin tells its story. Lines deepen, texture changes, and in places we rarely speak of, like the genitals, the skin becomes thinner, drier, and more vulnerable. But here's the truth many men don't realize. Neglected skin becomes painful skin. It itches. It cracks. It can tear with the smallest movement. And in a place as sensitive as your manhood, that can turn daily life into quiet discomfort. But this can be avoided with one small act of care. Why moisture matters more. After 60, you might ask, why should I moisturize there? The answer is simple. The skin has changed. As testosterone levels drop with age, so does natural skin oil production. That includes the skin around your penis and scrotum. What once stayed soft now becomes dry, and dryness there isn't just uncomfortable. It invites irritation, infections, even pain during intimacy. You've cared for your face, your hands, your knees. Now it's time to care for the part of you that carried your masculinity. Quietly. For decades, choosing the right moisturizer. Not every lotion is safe for intimate areas. You need something fragrance-free, alcohol-free, gentle, and dermatologist-approved, preferably with natural oils like jojoba, coconut, or shea butter. A pea-sized amount, applied once a day after your bath or shower, is enough. Rub gently into the shaft, scrotum, and surrounding area. Don't overdo it. Just enough to restore softness and reduce friction. You're not pampering, you're preserving. When a man tends to his skin, he's not being delicate. He's being wise with what time has given him. Protecting skin from the elements. Think about this. We protect our skin from sun, wind, and cold, but the skin down there is just as exposed to daily wear and tear. Friction from tight clothing, dampness from sweat, even long hours of sitting can cause chafing, heat, rash, roughness, and redness. But when skin is moisturized, it becomes flexible. It moves with you, not against you. That means less irritation, less pain, and more comfort throughout your day. If you've ever felt a subtle burning, soreness, or sensitivity you couldn't explain, this might be why. Dry, unprotected skin, but now you know. Skin tells the truth of how you've treated yourself. Aging isn't the enemy. Neglect is. And the most neglected skin of all It's often the skin we hide, the skin we're told not to talk about. But even in silence, it ages. It dries. It begs for care. Some men realize this too late. After discomfort becomes their daily norm, but not you. You've taken the step. You've listened. You've remembered that manhood isn't about ignoring pain. It's about responding to it with care and courage. When skin is soft, confidence returns. There's a quiet strength in feeling whole. When there's no sting, no burn, no roughness to distract you. You stand taller. You walk freer. You welcome intimacy without fear or tension. Comfort in your body is not a luxury. It is a birthright, one you reclaim every time you care for your skin. Older men often retreat from connection because they don't feel physically whole. But it's never too late to restore that confidence. Just by moisturizing, daily, intentionally. That simple legacy of self-respect, you taught your children how to care for themselves. You modeled hard work, discipline, sacrifice. Now model something else. That self-respect never retires. That care doesn't stop with age. That dignity includes the parts of ourselves we often neglect. Moisturizing your most private skin isn't shameful. It's an act of legacy. It says to the world, I still matter, every part of me. And if no one told you this before, hear it now. You deserve to feel good in your skin, every inch of it. There's a quiet loneliness many older men carry. They don't speak of it, not even to their closest friends, not to their doctors, not even to themselves. It's the silence around desire, not the fiery passion of youth, but the warm human yearning to feel wanted, to feel close, to feel whole. But somewhere along the way, society began whispering that older men should let that go, that after a certain age it's no longer important, that it's no longer appropriate. And so countless men shut that door and live in quiet resignation. But the truth is, sexual health doesn't have an expiration date. Connection doesn't retire. And wanting to feel loved is not a weakness. It's proof you're still alive. Inside, the body changes. But so does intimacy. After 60, changes in blood flow, hormone levels, and even medication side effects can affect performance. Erections may be slower to arrive, shorter to stay. Sensitivity may decrease. Confidence can quietly slip away. But here's the wisdom no one tells you. What changes with age is not your worth, but the way you express it. You may not love the way you once did, but you can love deeper, slower, more honestly. Intimacy becomes less about performance and more about presence, less about urgency, more about meaning, less about proving something, and more about sharing everything. Talk to your doctor. Reclaim the conversation. If things have changed physically, don't suffer in silence. Erectile dysfunction, low libido, or discomfort during intimacy are medical issues, not moral failures. Many are reversible, most are manageable. All are nothing to be ashamed of. There are treatments, therapies, even natural solutions. But more than anything, there's freedom in simply speaking the truth. I want to feel whole again. And the doctor who deserves your trust will listen with compassion. If they don't, find one who will. Because you're not asking for indulgence, you're asking for health. And that matters. Emotional connection still heals the soul in long marriages. Touch sometimes disappears. In widowhood, warmth can feel like a memory too distant to chase. In aging, we begin to forget how much the human soul needs softness. But it's not too late. If you have a partner, hold them longer. Speak openly. Rediscover each other not as who you were, but who you've become. If you don't close the door. There are people, lonely like you, hoping someone still believes love belongs to the old. And even if you're alone, self-love is still love. Even the simple act of caring for your body, your comfort, your skin, it reminds you that you still matter because you do. The fifth and final rule. So what is the fifth rule every older man should follow? Never give up on your right to feel alive. Not just clean, not just checked, not just moisturized, but whole, connected, loved, respected. That includes your desires. That includes your tenderness. That includes your sexuality in all its evolving forms. A final word of legacy. Maybe no one ever taught you this growing up. Maybe you spent your whole life believing that manhood meant toughness, silence, and sacrifice. But you've earned something more now. The right to be gentle with yourself. The right to be cared for. The right to feel good in your own skin, even when no one's looking. You've lived through decades. You've given and lost and built and grieved. Now, give something to yourself. Daily care, daily awareness, daily comfort, and the quiet, beautiful permission to still be you. Because the man you are today deserves just as much care, maybe more, than the boy you once were. If this story moved you, share it with someone you care about.